Hey, everyone. Anthony Fantano here, internet's busiest music nerd. Hope you're doing well. And it's time for a weekly track roundup, where I go over what I felt were the best and worst tracks of the week. As you may know, I just had a tour, so the week before the tour, building up to the tour, I missed a weekly track roundup. And then, because I was on tour for a whole week, I missed another weekly track roundup. So it's back. But in this edition, I'm going to try to go back a little bit and cover some of the pivotal and notable songs that came out while I was gone. So this is a bit of a catch-up, as well as a mention of a lot of the tracks that dropped this past week as well. So it's maybe a bit of a long episode, but still going to touch down and cover a bunch of tracks from a bunch of different artists. I probably won't touch down on everything. It's not going to be as in-depth for every week I was gone as it would have been if I dropped one that week, but still, you get what you get. You get what you get. All right, let's first mention the Amazon and Turntable Lab associate links, especially that Turntable Lab associate link if you want to buy yourself a colorful pressing of a record off of that page, off of that link. We get kickback from it. Supports the channel, supports the show, and it's the worst tracks of the week, everyone. It's the worst tracks of the week, of which there were quite a few, honestly. I'm sort of shocked. You guys, while I was gone, you really messed music up. You really messed it up, guys. You couldn't have kept it nice and clean and orderly while I was gone. No, you had to come out with a bunch of terrible songs. Let's get into it. First, the Violent Femmes are back, or rather just Violent Femmes. The famed acoustic rock and punk and post-punk and art rock outfit. They have a new song out, Hotel Last Resort. It's easily one of the most horrid and bland and boring songs the band had ever released. I don't know who was asking for this, and yet we got it. Moving on from there, the Hives are back, reminding us that they are alive with a terrible new track, easily one of the corniest they have ever released. The vocals are god-awful. The lyrics are weirdly chauvinistic and annoying and gross. And I don't know, they're just still trying to trying to appeal to these generic old school rock and rollisms, just translating them through a bit of a punk lens. It's kind of stale at this point. It was really sort of starting to run out of gas by the time of their third record, and they're still pushing it, and it doesn't really sound any more interesting or refreshing. So it's pretty lackluster, in my view. Pretty lackluster. Moving on from there, Sebadoh, Sunshine is the name of their new track over here. Easily the most, navel-gazing and inconsequential song that the legendary lo-fi indie outfit has dropped from their forthcoming record. Kind of disappointing. It's really been a mixed bag of tracks teasing toward this album, and I wonder how exactly this thing is going to pan out. Moving on from there, Passion Pit and Galantis go sunshine-touched indie pop fused with EDM on this new track, I Found You. It's aggravating and super glitzy. I'm sure there are great intentions behind the song and everything like that, but I just do not really care for hearing Passion Pit's already very sugary songwriting thrown into a bit of an EDM context. I just really don't. Moving on from there, Madonna has seen fit to release two god-awful songs over the past couple of weeks, one with Sway Lee and one with Quavo. She is really trying her best to appeal to just the current trend of trap and trap fused with pop. And both tracks, Future and Crave, are awful. She dropped another track this week that was a solo cut that I thought was absolutely forgettable. This new record that she has coming out very soon is not shaping up to be all that great in my view, in my opinion. Moving on from there, Ed Sheeran and Justin Bieber, I Don't Care. They get together on this one, and I kind of go into depth on this track on a track review over on the Fantano channel if you do wish to watch it over there. But the Biebs and Ed Sheeran get together here, and they come together with absolutely bland trash on this one. Vocally, there's absolutely no chemistry. The instrumental is bland, and I don't know, you wouldn't remember it if it were somebody else's instrumental, I'll tell you that. And the song, the lyrics themselves are, like literally no effort was put into this track. Just throw it into the recycle bin. Moving on from there, Bruce Springsteen has put out another cut. And vocals and production sounding incredibly rough on this one. Not really getting where Bruce is going with this latest record of his. There Goes My Miracle is the name of this latest one. And also, dude, insipid lyrics on this track. Totally insipid, stomach-churning lyrics on this song. I just did not get it. Moving on from there, Ben Gibbard of Death Cab for Cutie fame has seen fit to do a cover of the Minor Threat song Filler on piano. And it's trash. Let's not even get any deeper into it than that. Oh geez, no. This is the biggest heartbreak of me for the week, frankly. The biggest heartbreak of the week. My dude Alex Cameron has come through with a brand new track. If there is one artist whose record I have been just hotly anticipating in 2019, it is definitely Alex Cameron's. His last full-length LP, Forced Witness, I think is one of the most captivating, funny, and enchanting singer-songwriter records of the decade. But this new track over here, which is titled Miami Memory, is not so much the case. I do think the lyrics are pretty funny. Lyrically, Alex is definitely on the ball here, but the rough, distorted, almost industrial drum and synth line on this cut totally tears away any potential appeal of it whatsoever. Just the production is god-awful. The instrumentation is god-awful. It does not serve the song, in my opinion. It's just very rigid. It's very obnoxious. Totally distracts from everything that Alex is doing with the tune of the track, with his vocals, with his lyrics, with the story. Just do not get what he was trying to achieve with the production on this one. Sounds like a total mess. Sounds like a total mess to me. Moving on from there, we also have a brand new track from Africa Express, which is a new music project spearheaded by Damon Albarn of Gorillaz fame. It's supposed to be like a multicultural outfit with artists all around the world, many of whom do have roots in Africa, but a great deal of them just seem to be like white dudes from sort of relevant, but also some underground pop and indie groups. And it just sort of sounds like very gentrified African-ish pop music. I don't really get the appeal of this project. The tune that they have teased here, Johannesburg, featuring Gruff Rice of Super Furry Animals, Morena Laraba, Radio 123, and Cibo, is drab, is uninspired, not really that flavorful on the instrumental side of things. And again, just not really seeing what exactly the angle or the appeal of this is. Maybe subsequent singles and teasers will be more interesting. I hope so. But as of right now, as far as like a first taste for this project, it's not a very exciting one. Let's move on to the tracks I thought were kind of meh. Not blowing me away, but certainly worth mentioning. First off, we have a brand new cut from Tricot titled Butter. And I'm not so sure if I'm crazy about this one. Usually the group is a bit more of a math rock endeavor. This song sees them putting out more of a ballad with more R&B vibes behind it, which is not inherently a bad thing, but I think their songwriting could have used a bit more tuning on this one, frankly. Moving on from there, Titus Andronicus has dropped a brand new track as well. It is a wild, rowdy, screamed, distorted piece of folk punk with a lot of attitude. Maybe not my favorite tune that they have dropped in a while, but still solid. Tumult Around the World is the title of it. Moving on from there, a brand new cut as well from Jack White's The Raconteurs. I think the vintage rock and roll vibes on this one are cool, but the vocals come together in an absolutely horrid way. The way they're layered, the way they're not so much harmonized, but slurred over each other in a very messy, unlikable fashion. Moving on from there, Unsainted is the name of the brand new single from Slipknot. Just kind of sounds like Slipknot playing it by the numbers on this one, really playing it by the numbers and not much else. They're just kind of working the regular Slipknot blueprint here with the The soaring, clean vocals on the chorus, the screamed, manic, but rapped vocals on the verses, those grimy riffs, the pretty hard-hitting drums. The one thing that really stood out to me is that I guess the bridge seemed a little black metal inspired, I suppose, but that's really it. Honestly, that was really it. Moving on from there, we have a couple of new tracks from UK rapper Skepta. I'm not going to say that these are two of his best songs. It sort of seems like he hopped on some very trendy instrumentals, very trendy trap-inspired instrumentals, put together some basic refrains, and just tried to come together with, a couple of the most easy to have stuck in your head songs that he possibly could. Bullet from a Gun and Greaze Mode, whose lyrics are easily the corniest of the two, are the songs that he put out here. Moving on from there, Mark Ronson has a new cut out. It sort of seems like with all these new tracks of his, he's trying to strike this like very dramatic, lavish ballad formula. The Miley Cyrus single is, in my opinion, the best example of it so far. This new cut over here featuring YEBBA is maybe the weakest so far. I really don't know. Mark Ronson, he's very, very hit or miss. He'll come out with a record, a project that is in a certain style, a certain sound, going for a certain vibe. He'll come out with like several amazing songs in that sound, and then all of them will just drop off from there. And this is definitely an example of that, in my opinion. It's very one-dimensional, very bland, singer absolutely nondescript, and the tune is pretty weak too. Moving on from there, Lana Del Rey has done a cover of Sublime's Doin' Time, which is pretty faithful to the original. Nothing much changed up outside of just a dreamier aesthetic and Lana's usual vocal style. Came out okay. If you're looking for her to kind of reinvent the wheel here, it's not going to happen. It's a very straightforward rendition. Moving on from there, Idols have released what seems like a track that could have been from the sessions from their latest record. It's very roughly recorded and performed. It's a song that I guess I'm not that surprised ended up on the cutting room floor here. But if you're looking for another rougher dose of the band's politically charged, in-your-face, very guttural and nasty art punk sound, then give this a try. Holy Ghost has come through with another disco-flavored jam. Do This is the title of the song. It's pretty fun, pretty sweet, pretty straightforward. Nothing all that new for the duo, but still, again, pretty likable. Flying Lotus has come through with a brand new track. Another teaser from his big record coming out very soon. This new one features none other than Anderson .Paak. And I do think the track eventually smooths out into a decent song, into a decent tune. But to get to that point, God, the intro is incredibly rough and very messy and not in a likable way. Easily one of Flylo's worst arrangements, instrumentally and vocally, that I think he's ever put forward. Not sure what to say outside of that. I'm just sort of hoping this is a song that ends up wowing me once I hear it in the context of the entire album. But as a standalone moment, I'm just not really feeling it. Just not. Chance the Rapper and TisaKorean has come through with a new track with production from Murda Beatz. GRoCERIES just kind of seems like a very absurd trap-flavored banger with a lot of very silly one-liners and weird lyrics, just to be playful and tongue-in-cheek and strange. And again, I'll say the word absurd. So nothing too substantive or memorable or, I guess, groundbreaking from Chance. But if you want to hear a banger that's just kind of like blah, 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 and is just trying to be as ridiculous as possible, give it a shot. Carly Rae Jepsen has come through with another teaser to her new album, which is out now. Not going to talk too much about it, as I am going to be reviewing her new album soon. Too Much is the name of the track. I think it's a tad overproduced, frankly, but just letting you guys know, know that I am planning on reviewing this record, making you aware. So I'm going to review the record, so you don't got to ask me every 10 minutes. Moving on from there, Baroness has another track out that they are teasing to their new album with. Throw Me an Anchor is the title of this new one. And this is another instance of the production on this track not feeling as full as it has on past efforts, and I wasn't really all that impressed with the song on this one either. Not really getting where Baroness is coming from or going with this new set of tracks. They have really been a mixed bag in my view, and I don't know, just not as excited for this Baroness record as I would like to be, frankly, due to the songs they have been showing fans up to the release. And let's get into the tracks that I thought were the best from the past few weeks. There were quite a few. You know, the past couple of weeks were not all bad, for sure. First off, Tyler, Igor, Earfquake, new album out now. I did a full track review for this song over on the Fantano channel. If you want to watch that and see my full opinion, check it out over there. I do love the track. I think the weird, I guess, left field soul direction Tyler is taking this song in is pretty likable, and I will leave it at that. Moving on from there, a new song from a duo, a married duo by the name of Summer Camp, Love of My Life. It is a lavish piece of well-arranged pop music with some sort of weak lead vocals, but it's still very endearing and cute. Very lovely pop tune. Do not miss out on it. Do not miss out on it. Moving on from there, Purple Mountains is a new music project featuring David Berman of Silver Jews fame. I do not know how many people out there who watch these videos, watch my channel, are fans of Silver Jews, know about the group's history and the amazing albums they came out with back in the day. But Silver Jews were a great band that ended far too early, in my opinion, although they did have a very nice run. Although it was, still sad to see David Berman sort of, fall into obscurity a little bit. And now he's back, essentially, with this new band, new project, new song out, titled All My Happiness Is Gone. And even though this is a different project, it's not really all that different than some of the stuff he was doing when he kind of put Silver Jews at a finish. It's somewhat lo-fi, very downtrodden indie rock with a strong singer-songwriter edge and very poetic lyrics, and David Berman's trademark, somewhat deadpan, forlorn lead vocal is there. And it just sort of sounds good to hear him back, and it sounds like he's got a reason to be back. I would like to think that someone would not come out with a new record if it were not for a need or a desire to put out more music, and it sounds like David is very much back in his wheelhouse with this new track over here. So moving on from there, a brand new cut from a project by the name of Men I Trust. Norton Commander is the name of this cut. It's a very hypnagogic piece of dream pop, maybe a little generic by standards of the genre, but I just found the production to be incredibly intoxicating and the lead vocals to be whispery and sweet, like a great ASMR video. Moving on from there, another Mavis Staples track. This one featuring none other than, I want to say, Ben Harper on vocals with her. And it's a very lovely tune, very lovely track, very lovely song. A great piece of blues and soul here. Definitely looking forward to this new Mavis Staples album. Also, want to talk about the new Holly Herndon record very soon, and just point you guys to this new song over here titled Frontier, which is a great abstract piece of abstract vocal layered insanity. I'm not going to say anything more than that. Give it a try. It's absolutely off the wall. Black Mountain Destroyer, another fun track from the throwback rock outfit Black Mountain. And I don't know, just like a lot of weird vintage guitar leads and crazy male-female vocal harmonies and shouts and layers and a lot of attitude. I love some of the chunky riffs played throughout this track as well. If you like to hear a band that does a good throwback, not like a crummy throw it in the garbage Greta Van Fleet throwback, a quality throwback, give this band a shot, give this track a shot. Moving on from there, Ricky, brand new track from Denzel Curry, did a track review for this over on the Fantano channel. Love the banger beat, love Denzel's flow here, love the family values coming out of the lyrics, and I just think the track is great. The track's fantastic. Moving on from there, I do love the new collaboration from Charli XCX and Lizzo. It's very catchy. It's a very futuristic, weird piece of pop. Super infectious chorus. Lizzo's performance on the back end of the track is charismatic and fun. And yeah, sure, it's one of Charli's more saccharine and sugar-coated cuts. It's not as abstract or as freakish or as weird as some of her best material. But I do think this track sits at a good crossroads. You know, there are some strange and I said futuristic elements of the beat on this one that I think are pretty cool. And Charli's vocal performance is pretty solid. And the whole "I blame it on your love" hook of the song is super sticky. Moving on from there, we have another track from the band Black Midi that I've been mentioning on numerous occasions in these weekly track roundups. This one, Talking Heads, is a pretty great frantic track with lots of weird angular guitar leads and some, I don't know, blood pumping lead vocals. Just love the way the band is, I don't know, so abstract and so spastic and so visceral. And that has been it for the weekly track roundup, everybody. Thank you very much for watching. All the songs that I have mentioned in this video are linked down below in the description. You can try them out all there, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Anthony Fantano, Weekly Track Roundup.